Next, let's queer up the USA view. Pentagon begins process of correcting dishonorable discharges from Don't Ask, Don't Tell. The Pentagon is launching a new outreach campaign to help LGBTQ+ service members who feel they suffered an error or injustice for the repeal of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy to correct their military records. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin issued a statement addressing the fact that for decades, LGBTQ+ service members were forced to hide their identity or were prevented from serving altogether. He said, quote, "In the coming weeks, we will be initiating a new outreach campaigns to encourage all service members and veterans who believe they may have suffered an error or injustice to seek correction to their military records," end quote. Congress repeated the military's policy which prohibited openly gay, lesbian, or bisexual people from serving in the armed forces in September 2011. According to Pentagon data, more than 13,000 people were separated from the military under the department's homosexual conduct policy from 1994 to 2011 under varying conditions, including honorable, general, other than honorable, and unknown. Personnel will now identify veterans' records who showed their separation was due to their sexual orientation and who received a discharge that was less than honorable. A panel will then determine if those records need upgrading and send the individuals' names to the service secretaries for consideration and potential correction. Well, this is a perfect example of policy just crawling like a tortoise, because this is a lot of years that these people, and I was thinking when I was reading the story earlier, like how many people have passed and they're gone and families that just didn't get any of these of their due, the money that they it just is
what are Republicans going to say?
What are Republicans? Well, they claim to be so pro-military, but that's only excluding us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an inclusive military.
Listen, I think more needs to happen. Like you said, at a snail's pace, man. I think the last time, this was 2011 or something when they had stopped that, right? How about all the families that were ruined? How about all the lives that were ruined? There were people that were removed from service. These are people that had given their whole lives, that didn't know anything else but serving in the military. There are people that committed suicide once they were removed. How about those freaking families, all right? A little correction? Bullshit. Give them a ton of money. They deserve it. Now, when are they going to get it? When they're dead too? I mean, this is crazy. It's insane. I mean, again, they want to give us crumbs, and we're always okay with the fucking crumbs.
What do you think is going to happen? Do you think, I ask you about the Republicans, what they're going to say. Do you think that the Pentagon has a reasonable opportunity to restore benefits without significant involvement or opposition? Yeah, pushback.
Do they have the opportunity? Of course they do.
And nobody will hear of it.
Though. Yeah. What I mean is, do you think ultimately
it will happen?
It will happen.
No.
Will they win? No.
No.
Right? Because in the end, I think that service to country prevails, even in light of the bigotry. And so I think that which they love, right? They love the military message.
Yeah.
When they are told that these were honorable service members, that will prevail because they don't want to vote on record against service members.
Yeah.
Right.
And the reason I ask you those questions is one of the things that jumps off the page for me over this issue. There's been a lot of discussion in America through our history over the last 150 years of policies of shameful history. The Republicans that will oppose this because of their religious beliefs, because it's immoral, and fill in all of the ridiculous blanks that we've heard through the years, then they're going to be called out by the Pentagon and the military. The military is going to call them out and show, wait, this is exactly how America has processed correction of shameful policy of America. Multiples of examples. We have done many in various different ways, reparations for slavery. Slavery was an abhorrent policy in America, and we went back. We haven't done enough, but many times we tried to make corrections of it. We interned the Japanese in 1939, and we financially, as a federal government, compensated families, businesses, and Japanese Americans for that repugnant policy of internment, which was completely unjustified. And we knew 20, 30, 50 years later it was. We have compensated Native Americans for the theft of their lands. The Seminole Hard Rock Casino exists because of American federal and state power saying, let's try to correct a wrong. And at the end of the day, I think that the Pentagon's going to do the exact same thing. These people were dishonorably discharged and lost, even if they're gone, they lost the benefits that they deserved as Americans serving in our military, and their families lose the benefits. Health care, compensation, all of the different kinds of things that are American.
Yeah. Al, I think you did a great job of enumerating the moments when the American government has tried to do reparations and has tried to do right. But I think that they are, as it's been just said, these are crumbs on all of those atrocities.
Thank you.
Slavery, Japanese internment, etc. And so, yes, there's been efforts that have been made, but they've been lousy. They've never been enough. And it will never be enough because the largeness of what these atrocities are is never really, I think, realized by the American government.
Preach, Queen, preach.
Fix my crown.
But there's not much you got to say after that.
That's it. Yeah.